Shawn told me something one time, and I never forgot it. He was saying, being a bit of a lighter heavyweight, that people would say stuff to him, they'd scream stuff in the ring, whatever. He probably heard all. But he'd always just kind of lean back, and whatever was in that eye, he'd want them to know, hey, I'm a psychopath. It's something like, I could take, no, maybe I can't take it.
Yeah.
Maybe not, and I thought that's such a cool way to look at it, because it's not so much the size as much as the intent, and as much as the belief and commitment to the being in there. Oh man.
Yeah. Shawn was amazing on so many levels. I think he was before his time in what he could do athletically, but that was only a small part of what Shawn did.
Yeah.
What he did. What I always loved about Shawn is, again, he could bump and sell and do all this pretty shit, but at one moment, at the right time in a match, when it comes to Dukes, right? It should always, to me, it boils down. You can do all that flying head scissors and all these other things, but when it gets to a point in the match where it comes down to Dukes and fighting, right? And regardless of how outsized he was or who he was in the ring with, when it came down, you believed him, right? And that's a gift to have, because a lot of people, it's like, just stick to the high flying stuff.
Sure.
But Shawn had that thing in him, that dog, I guess, is what you.
The dog.
He had that dog in him, that look in his eye that you're talking about. It's like, hey, we got to go to Dukes.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Dukes, and I mean, I tell you, there's probably no one that I had rather work with than him. Talking about chemistry and all that, man. I could have a match with him. Well, not now, but when we were going, I could have a match with him, and just like,
it's a night off.
Yeah, it's so easy.
I always say it's like a night off, but it's a night on. You're discovering all new stuff, and everything's hitting as well. You mentioned that dog in them. I think the first guy, as I started looking at the wrestling industry from how do we do this? What was the makeup of this person? But someone else who had that dog in them, I didn't realize was Tully Blanchard. And I watched I've watched all these random tag team hot tags this week where Tully met the guy on the ropes and had to fight his way out. And it was just a completely different sense of it. I don't know I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but one time Hunter told me, he's like, you got the same exact thing. He's like, you got to be able to like go for it. And you got to be able to hang in there. It doesn't mean you're not going to take your licks, but you're getting back up. You're coming again. So he told me, he said, at this point in your career, I was a bad guy. I was doing Dash and Cody Rhodes. He said, don't be afraid to run back in there. Let that baby face know and take one more. One time I ever tried it. One time was Booker. And Booker's in there just doing Booker. You know what I'm saying? And I let him know. I'm yelling, screaming. So, because last thing I want to do, I'm not trying to break the flow of this up. You got to hit me again. And I slid in there, and it's like it was magic. He turned around, and that giant Booker hand just right here, and just bing, eardrum gone right away. And
He hit you with his working punch.
I went down and I went to the back, and I remember I just looked at Hunter. He don't even remember him telling me that story, and I just went, well, didn't really work, you know. You mentioned his working punch. One of my favorite things with T-Book ever was I wrestled him when he had come off commentary, so there was a little rust for sure. But I ain't pointing that out. This is I'm always gonna try. The veteran is going to lead. This is anything that goes wrong, it's going to be my fault.
Right.
Even if you know, I don't think that was, but it is my fault.
Right.
But he was in the corner, lighting me up with chops, but his head was moving, so he wasn't looking at me. So he's chop here and then looking back, and I come back full handprint on my face, just all scratched on my neck, and he was right in front of me, and I'll just never forget. He's screaming, "Follow that! Shakespeare!" He's going on his whole bit, and I was looking at everyone like, yeah, guys. It got considerably better, but I'll never forget, because now guys get in the corner, they go to chop you. It's so deliberate. But man, he was literally just flying all over, man.
He was feeling it, right?
Yeah, he was. He was feeling it, and it was worth it that he was feeling it. You know, it was worth it.
That's funny. I back in the day, I'd be in the ring with Rock, and I don't know if you ever noticed, but Rock would love to have your back to the Tron.
Yeah.
And we were working one night, and he is just wearing me out, right? He's got me up against the ropes, and he is just pounding me, right? He's not looking anywhere close. He's just watching himself whip my ass on the Tron. It's like this. And I'm like, I was like, hey, dude, if I'm going to sell for you, can you at least look me in the eyes while you're beating my ass? And then he popped. He laughed about it. But it was just like, come on, man. Oh, he was all into it. It was just, boom, boom, boom.
And then you guys had the giant Tron too,
huge,
just the Tron itself. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. You pick up everything. It was just, come on, man.
You mentioned the Rock. You mentioned the final boss, which is, I struggle to know how I would ask you this because I don't really talk about it that often because I don't want to ruin what it was. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we could ruin what it was, but just it was such a special thing to me. But obviously, we have to talk about WrestleMania 40. And from my perspective, I'm very curious as far as your perspective on it. But people will look at that, and I see all the time the greatest 5 minutes in wrestling history, which is hilarious because within the 5 minutes section they cut out is just me laying there selling. So I'm there, but hey.
Sometimes you got to set the table, brother. You got to set the table.
I'm in there.
And then just sit back and look at your handiwork.
I am in the corner, but this moment, I can tell you that Hunter talked to me a lot about what I was looking at as far as what do you want that to be? What is it? And the rivalry with Roman and I is rather real. So it's one of those things you don't talk a lot about. And I kept telling him I'm too close to this all. Mm-hmm. You whatever play you call, we're gonna run it. But I describe it as actual magic is basically what happened in front of me. And again, John Cena comes down first to neutralize Solo Sikoa. John rolls to the backside, but I can see him. He's on the backside. He's up against the wall after Rocket came out to neutralize John Cena. And then, of course, the bells hit. And the part to me that was so wild, because you know how a blackout looks in the arena. It's not always a blackout in the arena like it is on TV. Yeah. But you kind of pulled a little bit of a Yoda move where you're walking around backstage real, slow. And just kind of, conserving your energy. And then the speed to which you roll in the ring, you can hear it you can hear it. Yeah. It's like listening to a guy at a wrestling school do a roll for the first time and do it right. You sped in there and stood right up, and then when the reveal comes up, there you are. This moment happens. Grab him, give him a big choke slam. He goes up for it. Boom, big moment. And then you did the coolest thing is you look back knowing what was happening in the entire match. You look back at me, and of course I was in a cell, so the moment wasn't what maybe you had envisioned, but you look back at me just to give me a little, like I got him. It's yours now, I got him. But then you winked, and I tell people this all the time, you went like this, and when you winked, the lights went out. And I remember thinking, he's shoot fucking magic. And I couldn't, I'm going in my mind through did they know? Did they see him do it? No, they didn't, because you turned your back to the hard cam to look at me and give me that moment. And that moment, accompanied by, I saw John's eyes, and he just watched and kind of just gave me something, just a nod, whatever it is. I'm sure you know, but that did so much, not just for the match and the match as it stands today, not just for the spectacle of WrestleMania, not just for WWE history, because WrestleMania 40, it's a 10-year Mania, where it's everything. It's past, it's present, it's future. It's all those things. But the amount of people who did honors for me and put me over to go over in that moment, I can never tell you enough times how grateful I am for it and how special it was and how honored I was and still am. And not only that, pressure in terms of look at what they did. Mm-hmm. Don't screw this up. Look at what they did. Don't honor what they did. I say it all the time. Does this honor what we did here?
Right.
And I don't use it in a political way. I mean it. Yeah. We did all this. Do we honor it? Am I still honoring it? And if I didn't get the opportunity to tell you in person, I'd be kicking myself. Thank you very much.
Oh, man,
I mean, thank you. It was a wrestler's dream to have Hall of Famer, Mount Rushmore guy, everything right there. My childhood, in addition to that, someone who also taught me things, someone who I drove around, all of it.
Right.
Every piece of it. I couldn't ask. I didn't want to come back and tell my wife. I didn't want to tell her, hey, well, we peaked. I didn't want to say that because I knew, hey, the road begins now.
Yeah.
But I also knew if I never was in that spot again, I was incredibly lucky that I was ever there in the first place.
Yeah, no, and the only thank you I think anybody would ever want is for you to do what you've done and continue to grow this sport and take that and go to the next level with it. I mean, that's the only thank yous that anybody would ever ask for. It was incredibly special moment. Even for us, obviously for you and what's about to happen for you, but for all of us to be in there again, me and Rock to be in the ring together again, all those things, it was just such a cool moment. Yeah. And I wish I could say the eye wink and the lights going out were my doing, or
I know it was.
That was just fate. That was a cool that just happened. But but yeah, man, that was just, again, setting the table for you and an incredible run. And I love the way and how serious that you take this business. And, that's, it was just fun. It was a fun night. And the only reason that I moved so fast is because you don't want to screw that up.
Yeah, you got to be up for it.
Right,
yeah.
You got to be like,
they can't do the reveal when hold up, guys.
Hang on, old man moving in here. Well, yeah, so it was funny because I'd had, probably what hadn't been a year yet that I had both my knees replaced.
Oh wow!
I did them both, and they bring me into the bowl to load me, right, and they brought me in one end of the stadium, and I had to get underneath a hard camera.
Make it as difficult as possible.
Where I was going to stage.
Yeah.
And, the sequences are starting to happen. Yeah. And they're like, okay, we got to hurry. I've never run on my new knees.
Oh, my gosh.
Never.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And here I am, man. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm running.
Yes.
This ain't happened in a while. Yeah. And it feels pretty damn good here, right? So... maybe got a little gassed, but
yeah.
But
you put those knees to test.
Yeah, the knees were like, I was like, holy shit, I can still go.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, in a way, you did.
Well, I got to where I had to get. I got to where I had to get, and then I got to the ring and got in the ring and standing up for the lights come on. So it was all good.